Hello, my name is Ari Naaman, and I represent the Autistic Self-Advocacy Network, an organization of adults and youth on the autism spectrum. Autism is a developmental disability and a spectrum condition with various manifestations. Many autistic people cannot talk or have significant speech delays. Others have no difficulty with speech but have trouble with social interaction, self-care, and nonverbal communication. There are many diagnostic categories on the autism spectrum. The most commonly known autism spectrum diagnoses are what is sometimes referred to as classical autism, in which a significant speech delay occurs, Asperger's syndrome, in which no speech delay occurs but problems with social communication persist, and pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified. I have a diagnosis of Asperger's syndrome. There is overlap among the different autism spectrum diagnoses, with the three common traits being problems in social interaction, such as difficulty relating to others, differences in verbal and nonverbal communication, such as an inability to speak or trouble interpreting social cues, and repetitive behaviors or interests, such as a hyperfocus on a particular topic area. Many autistic people have sensory sensitivities, making certain noises, smells, fabrics, and lighting hard to process or overbearing. There are selective advantages to the autism spectrum as well, like unique perspective and expertise from narrowly focused interests, but nonetheless it remains a very significant developmental disability requiring support and education. Many misconceptions exist about autism. For years, the medical establishment promoted an idea that autism was the result of bad parenting, stigmatizing innocent parents as refrigerator mothers, and presenting autism as a psychiatric illness. Countless families' lives were ruined as a result of this misconception. Thankfully, today we know better. Autism is neurological and of mainly genetic origin. It is not a mental illness or the result of poor parenting. Another misconception is that all autistic people have low intellectual ability. Today we understand that not being able to talk is not the same as not being able to think. Families should explore educational methodologies like speech therapy, as well as augmentative and alternative communication methods and assistive technologies. For more information about accessing educational services for autistic children and young adults, contact your local Parent Training Information Center by visiting www.taalliance.org. Autism is lifelong. Despite the focus of the mass media, it is not limited to children and it is not new. Improved diagnostic capabilities and criteria, as well as decreased stigma, have led to increased diagnoses of the autism spectrum. Autism is not overdiagnosed. In fact, research suggests there is a substantial underdiagnosis problem in reference to autism, with rural, minority, and low-income communities being less likely to be able to access autism identification resources. Many autistic adults and children are misdiagnosed into other categories. Some people believe that autism should automatically be equated to medication or institutionalization. Neither is necessarily true. Medication should only be considered in response to specific symptoms, not general diagnoses. Many behavioral and other problems associated with the autism spectrum are better addressed through educational approaches, like speech therapy and positive behavioral supports, or through changing a person's sensory environment. In 1999, the Supreme Court ruled that people with disabilities of all kinds, including autism, have a right to live in the community rather than be condemned to an institution. Community supports and independent living provide for a higher quality of life and a more cost-efficient approach as compared to life in an institution. Yet many adults with developmental disabilities, including autism, continue to suffer in institutions because of waiting lists or a lack of awareness. If you think your rights as a person with a disability or as a family member of a person with a disability are not being respected, contact your local Protection and Advocacy Service or Client Assistance Program through the National Disability Rights Network at www.ndrn.org. Autistic people should not be subject to over-medication and institutionalization. We should also not be neglected and assumed to be normal just because our disabilities are less visible than others. In the end, by working together, we can ensure that everyone has a chance to enjoy equal opportunity and full participation throughout society. For more information about autism, or to become involved in our advocacy or awareness efforts, please visit our website at www.autisticadvocacy.org or email us at info@autisticadvocacy.org. As was said on the signing of the Americans with Disabilities Act, and so we repeat today, let the shameful wall of exclusion come tumbling down. Thank you.